Okay. Good evening. Welcome to West Coast Live. Before we get started tonight, I just wanted to get a little thing out here. Had a very good friend of our family loss of a son this over Monday night due to an accident. Caden Coker, he was really, his mom was like a sister to me, and he always was around Code 3 all the time whenever he was a little kid, and always come to the pools. He'd come to the pools with Jared Aldrin and a few other ones, and he'd always come to the door and say, "When's my turn to drive?" So I wanted to just do a little quick moment of silence, and then we will get into the show for Caden. All right, thank you guys.
Welcome to West Coast Live.
Oh, duck calls, huh? Break out the duck calls.
Good Lord.
Kenzi's already saying hi.
Yeah. Tonight we have Brian Massetti and Charles.
Hello, everybody.
Say it, John.
Posh.
Yeah.
Sorry,
My ancestors wanted to make sure I hated every grade school teacher I ever had.
That's awesome.
Yeah, say you gotta love the English language. Isn't double O an oo sound, not O sound?
Yeah, ordinarily it would be, but somewhere back in the German, Austrian roots of that name, somebody was like, "Haha!" But wait.
Well, for those of you that don't know, Charles is now the voice of NTPA.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah,
Very nice.
I'm excited. It's been. If you would have asked me 4 months ago if I could even dream that big, that like was even possible, I would have laughed in your face. I was like, no. And then suddenly it became one. And so for the last 3 months, I've kind of known it was just getting the deal across the finish line. So I kept really quiet about it and let the right people do their thing. And now here we are, and I still can't believe it.
That's awesome.
And then Schultz found out.
Congratulations. That's awesome.
That's awesome. Congratulations, man. That's cool.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It's been a long 24 years of never even, like I said, never dreaming I could get to this point. I figured if I could get to where I was doing, 2 or 3 Grand Nationals a year, I'd be satisfied with that. And then I was asked, well, what about them all? And I'm like, well, I'm saying no twice.
Yeah. Right?
How cool is that?
Good for you, man. That's cool.
Yeah. Thank you.
What's the favorite place out of all of them that you really enjoy announcing at?
My favorite place to do it, I mean, other than my hometown fair, which is awesome, is not an NTPA Grand National anymore, but it's where I did my first one, Langford, New York. Really, really enjoyed the atmosphere there. You have a huge grandstand all down one side of the track, and the pits are all behind you, and they're going across the scales. So from the announcer stand, you literally turn around and you're looking down at the scales so you can see everything that's going on.
Nice.
And the opposite side of the track from there is a huge natural hillside with just people in under tents and lawn chairs and just as far as the eye can see. And they have a huge pavilion where they're cooking up these chicken dinners that are amazing to eat. And it's just a cool place. And it being the oldest continuously operating sled pull in the world kind of adds a mystique to it as well.
Yeah, for sure.
That is cool. You need to make a trip out there, John, huh?
A little bit of a drive.
It's a bit of a drive, but it is a really cool place to go. The night that the pull is going on there, the population of Langford is 10 times its normal number, and everybody's there at the pull.
That's awesome.
Wow.
That's awesome.
And it is all to benefit the fire department, who, to get in the pits, you drive through the fire department's side yard to get in there.
That's
Oh,
awesome.
nice.
How long has it been going on?
Gosh, this 25 would be 76 years, I think. 75 years.
Wow.
They're the oldest. My home pull armada is 2 years younger than them, and then Tampico, Indiana, is a year younger than us. Those are the three oldest that I know.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Damn.
Can you imagine that? Just all of a sudden announcing, the 75th GSI.
I won't be alive for that one. I can tell
Yeah,
you
no
that.
kidding, right? Oh, any of us will.
You'd be lucky to make the next one.
I was going to say, I'll be happy to hear it's the 4th annual.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. Very cool.
Well, we're supposed to have Mr. Brant Sullivan coming in here. I was going to text him and find out what happened to him. He's not on here yet, but Brian, you want to start talking a little bit about the
Sure.
the new up and coming deal, and then we'll have some more playtime here with Charles.
Sure. So for the 2025 season, we've been working for several months with Brant Sullivan and Donnie Fagundis, of course, Max Cackle Power Sports, and ourselves. And we're going to combine the Max Cackle events and the MLM events and make one points race out of both of our series, if you will. It should be about 15 events that'll be counted in this. I think Donnie's got 3, and we should have a dozen lined up. So we're excited. We're starting with 6 classes this year that are going to be involved in this program. We've got our 3 modified tractors, our light mods, our mods, and our heavy mods. Of course, the pro modified 4-wheel drives, limited pro stock diesel pickups, and the super farm tractors. The reason we went with those 6 classes is those are the classes we have the best support, and we have good numbers in them. So we're starting there. There is a commitment on the part of each competitor that money goes into their points fund. We've got different sponsor levels. We've already got 3 class sponsors lined up. This is part of why we're back here this weekend, to make connections and contacts, and try to put a little bit bigger spotlight on the western coast of pulling, not just California, but and we've kind of named it the Pacific Power Pulling Series. We wanted something that kind of said where it is, but not too specific. So it's the commitment, like for Jason and Dave, you guys, it doesn't make a lot of sense for you to really jump into this right now, because it takes away from your season at home. There's a lot of times where we'll be running something in California and you guys have an event, Oregon, Washington, wherever you may be that weekend. So, but it's something that we got to start somewhere. So we're modeling it after most of what the big organizations do across the country. And we're excited about it. We've had good, I haven't had any negative feedback from any pullers. We did have a meeting a few weeks ago there at our place, and I think we had 50 people there. So it's been good. And I see a lot of potential for this in the future. It's exciting times.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
We're
for
looking
sure.
forward to it. Yeah, we're looking forward to it,
Yeah.
to help the sport grow.
Right. And the events themselves won't change. So Max Cackle events still are Max Cackle events. MLM events are still MLM events. It's basically all on paper. We're just keeping track of everything together. So nothing really changes there. It does start. I should have looked at the calendar, but I'm almost positive it's February 12th
Yeah,
in Tulare with the World Ag Expo, the California Winter Nationals. That's a Max Cackle event.
yeah, February 12th.
February 12th. That should be Wednesday night.
Yep.
And this year, kind of exciting. They're moving that event to the farm show grounds. They've never had the event. The truck and tractor pull has always been at the fairgrounds, which is, I don't know, 2 or 3 miles away. So this year they're doing it on the ground, and it's pretty exciting for that event. So, well, thanks, Kimmy. I appreciate that. So, anyways, that February 12th, I haven't really heard the final time yet, but whenever the farm show closes, they're going to try to do it about 30 minutes after that. So, everybody just has to get out of the farm show, go get something to eat, something to drink, and fill into the stands. They've built a really nice facility there on the grounds. I want to say they carved out like 30 acres that they own just behind where the farm show actually is. They put up some nice big bleachers, plenty of room for 2 tracks, plenty of pit area. So it's going to be cool. It's a neat move, and it's exciting for that event to move to that venue.
Right. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Very good.
Because years ago, that used to be a 2-day event.
Well, actually, back then when it started, there was 4 and even 5 events. Remember, they would do 2 nights in Tulare, but the 2 weekends prior, we would go somewhere else. We went to Santa Maria, Bakersfield. I think I don't know where else we went on that series, but so that was kind of cool. That's back when the actual World Ag Expo was. I think they were funding it, and it was their event. And then when that ended, Donnie started and doing it at the fairgrounds. And for him, it made more sense at the fairgrounds to do it one night. I'm really hoping this works great for everyone involved, and maybe in the future it'll be a 2-day event there at the farm show grounds. Man, I don't know the numbers, but I've heard 100,000 people a day maybe are down there.
Easy.
Wow.
Easy.
100,000 people. If we can't get 7,000 people to come and watch, the
put it this
potential
way,
is there.
we're 3 hours, 2.5, 3 hours away where we are here in our community, and basically all ag operations stop that week in Stanislaus County, basically, because all the farmers and everybody head down there, and they'll go down there for all 3 days. You can't really go to that show without being there for 2 to 3 days to see everything.
Yeah, you're not going to see it all.
All the FFAs across California, Arizona, Nevada, they all make trips out to go just for that show.
No, that's cool.
So as far as getting the people to the stands, with it being on premises now instead of being 3-4 miles away, I think it's going to show a huge increase.
I see nothing but positive for everybody involved. People are there. It's an entertainment for big vendors. I'm like Caterpillar, John Deere, big companies like that. They can bring their clients there, have a good time. So it's going to be a good move for them. The first year, anything like this, it's at the fairgrounds. It was a slam dunk. They knew what to do. They knew how to do the track. Everything was good. Everything is new. I mean, the pullers all know what they're doing, and these guys know what they're doing, but it's just going to be different. So there's going to be some hiccups and some little hurdles to get over, but they can do it. And then with the I'm excited for this event because of what we're doing with this power pulling series. It's tough. It's a Wednesday night in early February, so
right before Valentine's Day. See, so you start off your Valentine's weekend on a Wednesday, take them to a truck pull, and then you got the rest of the weekend.
How lucky are all of our wives and girlfriends that they get to go to a truck and tractor pull for Valentine's Day? I mean,
exactly.
How many times did I drag my first wife to Farm Machinery Show for Valentine's Day? And now you see nothing on the stand.
The way you said my first wife, that didn't start off too good.
Once in a while, you just don't find the right one, Charles. I mean,
I've tried twice, and I don't know if there's going to be a third.
Not third time's a charm.
Hey, three of us in this room got lucky and hit it right on the
four.
first time.
This one here
Never
is,
say never, but right now I think I'm a little bit married to horsepower.
Yeah.
well, luckily my wife is too, so that we're good. We're good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I just think the turnout of competitors, it should be much better than we've seen there in Tulare in the years past, just because it does kick off this new series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what it's going to take. It's I know it's tough. It's the first time we've ever had a pull that early that counted for, that counts like this. And so I know it is tough, but hey, if we can get all of our stuff ready, and I was just at Brant's the other day, and he said, I dropped the two engines off there, and they're sitting on the floor, and he says, "So you going to be ready for the farm show?" I just looked down. I said, "I don't know. Am I?"
That's why he's not on our show tonight. Obviously.
Yeah. He's a busy
Actually,
guy.
he just texted. We should probably say this too. We just texted. He forgot they're out to dinner for his son's birthday today, so let's tell him happy birthday, happy
Oh,
third
yeah.
birthday.
I think it's
Little
Brody's
Sullivan.
third birthday. Yeah.
Brody's.
Yep.
Happy birthday, Brody.
Happy birthday, little feller.
Happy birthday.
Yeah.
But it's exciting. It's the last couple of years, especially this last season, just the way everything has been going. Now's the time for us to do this, and basically we're just trying to organize, fine tune rules. Each class is going to pick a set of rules from one of the big three national organizations. So it's pretty cut and dry. It makes it better for our pullers, and it makes it better for our events when you can just say, well, our mod tractors are the same exact rules as the Outlaws. So, or our pro mod 4-wheel drives are the same rules as the Outlaws. The, limited pro is probably PPL, but anyways, so that'll all be put into a rule book. We're going to have pretty substantial payouts at the end of the year. So, it's going to be a long season. There's a lot of events to cover, but it's going to be worth it in the end.
Yeah.
So,
For sure.
yeah.
For sure.
So
Well, and I think too the organizational side of it, getting everybody finally on one page, one book, just and also going to the safety aspect of it. And I know we've been talking about this for years, is finally just getting it nailed down, and the class forming together, and each class is forming together and really going over things and making all the trucks to fit one book. I mean, you look at the stuff that, Chris and I had to go through just to go to TPC to make legal for
Right.
PPL. That just showed how much our book, California, is so much different than what everything else was. And just to finally get on a book and have it in stone.
And the trucks across the board. Good.
Yeah, well, and,
Yeah.
a lot of the stuff like you guys had to do, we just never adapted and updated, right? Like the front brakes, we allow driveline brakes, and there's a lot of reasons why those aren't the right way to go. But there's just stuff like that it's good, and at some point you just have to rip the Band-Aid off, and people are gonna have to make changes. I know we're gonna have to make changes, so it's time. It's time. I think it solidifies everything that we've got going, and it's going to elevate everyone, and that's our goal. And that's why one of the we have 3 different levels of sponsors, and the biggest one's a class sponsor, and that class will get named after whatever sponsor comes up. But that class sponsorship money doesn't all go to that class. Only half of it does. The other half goes to the other 5 classes involved. So we are trying to do this to where it's going to elevate everybody, and it's just going to help everybody. So
yeah,
and we know, and we're not going to candy coat it. We're going to do our best. We may screw something up. I mean, something may not go perfectly right this first year, but we're everything's going to be out in the open and wide open. And when something comes up, we're going to work on it. The other thing I'm really excited about is we've created a rules committee to go along with this. So there's actually, including Donnie and Brant and myself, there's 7 people involved in this So when something comes up and when a vehicle is doing something that has a gray area in the rules, it doesn't fall on my shoulders to say, well, that's it, and then it becomes an argument with me and one other person where I'm saying this is what the rule says, and they say, well, this is how I read the rules. Now there's 7 people involved, so there's no there's gonna be no favor to. I have people from 4 different pulling classes, and then the 3 of us are involved on this end. So there will be no favoritism. There will be no nothing. And at our events, I feel like we do a pretty good job teching. I know at GSI, everybody's kill switch got checked, and I think Dusty said somewhere that was only the second time in 20 years his kill switch was checked. And one of the super farm tractors, Trev was pulling on it, and he says, "Nah, you just got to tug a little harder, tug a little harder." So he jerked on it, and the damn thing broke because it was rusted closed or something. So they went and got parts and fixed it right then. But like kill switches is one thing that I personally want to know that it works. And
you
I
do not go across a scale out here without getting it pulled.
Yeah, and I want to, that's if there's one thing that gets checked, I think that should be it.
Oh, yeah.
The driveline loops, the tethers, all that stuff's important too. But that kill switch has to work when it needs to work.
100%.
So,
Yeah, they did man models and everything else too.
And I've always said this, and with other organization I'm affiliated with and stuff, is you look at, I think Charles, was it last year that they had to put the new rule into the turbos, and then the
With
following
the cages
week,
and that? Yes.
yeah. So they have an issue, something happened, tragic accident. By that next Friday, all the vehicles had to be transformed to the new rule and able to pull.
Yeah.
And so when it comes down to safety, and I've gotten in arguments with a few people about this before. Oh, we got to end of the year, blah, blah, blah. No, safety wise, if they can do it back there and have everything incompatible and at the next hook, safety should be no argument.
There's no reason why it can't be here.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, safety is there's no question. If it's something like that, then it's just got to happen. But if it's something marginal where it doesn't really fit the rule, but it's not, then we might give them an event or two to fix it. But there are some cases where in that limited pro class, there's a couple guys that, they may be having to replace their whole chassis. So but we've talked to, and this is also something among that class that they need to solidify. But the reason that they're not, it's rules. It's the way stuff's written. It's the way stuff was done. But if we've been letting them run it, we're probably going to let them run it this year. But by 26, they're going to have to be fully compliant. It's not that they have a competitive advantage. They're not trying to cheat. It's just the way something was done. And so on something major like that, we're going to work with a guy. We don't want to sideline them for a whole year or half a year because we want people involved and we want this to fly.
Yeah.
So
did for you being at PRI, did the roundtable make it onto your calendar for Friday morning?
We are leaving Friday morning. Actually,
okay.
We've got to get home for some stuff Friday, but
Gotcha.
It just happened to work that we could come out here and hang out tomorrow, and then we're gonna head home Friday.
Fair enough.
So,
thanks for putting in a good word for us out there, huh?
Yeah, heck yeah.
Yeah, well,
Well, he promised he's going to bring everybody back each a single vehicle sponsor on his way back, so.
Awesome.
Yeah, no problem. I got that.
Read right on. Yeah.
I got half of them done tonight. So,
Oh, sweet.
You're going to get a sponsor, but you're really not going to like what you're going to have on your fire escape.
Yeah.
I'll paint that sucker pink. I ain't scared.
All depends how good that sponsor is, huh?
Well, after the meeting there, Kevin, my younger brother, and James, my younger son, they come over there laughing. They're just all giddy. And Kev says, "So let me get this straight. For $2,000, we get a decal on every vehicle involved? And I said, well, yeah, that's
Ooh,
the bronze sponsor. And he goes, okay, and we get to pick the decal, right? And I said, nope, no way.
No.
So,
That's awesome.
Oh, are you done wiring my truck?
There you go.
oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah. I get to put some more weight in the weight box.
Yeah.
We got
That's fine.
Nick over here wiring my truck.
Make sure we check his safety switch.
Yeah. The lights will come on. It's pretty cool.
John, I'm doing it, not you.
I got
He's
some.
gonna be worried that it'll even start when that's done. We'll let alone get shut off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I got some new wee woo lights, so we're gonna check them
Oh,
out.
jeez.
I think I'm going to find a set of rules that outlaws those.
Yeah, I think so. I think that should be a good one.
Believe it or not, it is in PPL's rules. That's why on Tony Burkhardt's cheap hooker, the backside strobes on that bar are disconnected. It only shoots them to the front.
Yep.
Oh, really?
Yeah. John had to take the back of his.
We already had that discussion.
Yeah.
Well, I had a problem with it because
Yeah.
you can't see.
Yep.
It blinds
Yeah.
the sled operator.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, makes sense. Makes
So-
sense.
Yeah, Brian called me up one day, says, hey, is there any way you can dole out those backlights? I go, yep.
Well, if you weren't the size of a monster truck, I mean,
Yeah. Brian can't see
wouldn't
what the
have
top of
bothered
the
him.
light bar. No.
That's all I can see is the light
Yeah.
bar. So,
Just the
you
light
know,
bar, yeah.
I'm trying to look around.
Yeah.
Uh,
too funny.
no. But anyways, I appreciate
actually,
you guys.
When I called Bob Morrill the other day with, when we're doing our vote for the rules and stuff like that, he goes, hey, by the way, every single book has a new rule added, no lights.
Fair enough. You can leave them on there. Just cut the wire.
Yeah, just get me wired up.
No.
That's awesome.
No, shoot, it's pretty good. It's I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, we are.
I am too, and I think it's neat that, for one thing, I mean, we're working together with Max Cackle to, bridge that gap, and it's going to be good. Like I said, there's going to be some bumps and growing pains as we do this, but our intention is and always has been just to elevate the sport and elevate pullers and give back to pullers. So with that as our end goal, I mean, that's going to guide whatever decisions we have to make or whatever we have to do. So that's where we're headed.
Awesome.
So yeah.
Well, I was hoping when you bought the new sled that you would try and move your way north a little bit, and do some shows up here. Get a north and MLS.
We'll go wherever the bills get paid.
Yeah, right. Try northern.
There you go, Jason. There's your answer.
Oregon, I mean, we're fine with that too.
Yeah. The other problem is,
There you go, Gisher.
I would love to, come up and do something up there with you guys, but I know there's already groups up there, and I don't want to go.
There isn't.
Let's face it, I already have enough people pissed off at me. I don't need to go pissing more groups off just for fun, right? But no, I would love to come up and do an adventure
There's no
too.
groups up here.
Oh, okay. Well, fair game then.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Somebody, that guy that Speed Union TV that did a couple of events we were at this year. He works with maybe Southern Oregon Speedway. I don't know if that's a real name, but he said they were wanting to put a pull on up there.
Cool.
But I mean, the reality of it is it gets expensive.
Oh yeah, for sure.
When we try to, our shows have gotten expensive over the years, but we're bringing a lot of equipment in. I mean, pulling equipment.
I understand. Yeah.
Well, they got a lot of money up there in Oregon. They got.
Oh yeah, sure.
Sweet.
You imagine that convoy.
Yeah.
Heck of a convoy going north on I-5.
Yeah, for sure. That's awesome.
It'd be just you imagine that convoy we had going from Willits to Lakeport, going right up I-5, right up in Oregon.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that was kind of cool when we took up that whole off ramp or half mile, whatever it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Charles, when we had a back-to-back pool, they were 40 minutes apart. Friday night was in Willits, California. Saturday night was in Lakeport, California. And so we all basically took off from Willits about the same time. We get into Lakeport. We backed up one whole off ramp all the way out into the traffic. Then when we get into the town of Lakeport, somebody actually pulled it up on Google Maps, was watching Google Maps for getting into the raceway, and the whole area downtown turned red.
Yeah,
for all of us coming into the pool.
There's been some years when here locally the Thumb Tractor Pulling Association, their schedule would work out, and we'd have the same situation. I was part of some of them convoys.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I agree, Preston. That would be awesome.
Yeah, heck yeah.
Virginia.
I mean, we can come up with an awesome list of places where it would be a blast to go have a pool, but
right,
we just got to make it happen.
It's the making it happen part. Yeah,
right, exactly.
Yeah.
So,
getting a spot, getting the people to do it, and
well, you know the reason that line was so long is we were following John on his Dodge, and it just took forever.
No.
yeah,
That's
that
awesome.
was fun.
That was fun. No. Hope that
It's looking like that might happen again. So
yes.
Awesome.
Good.
Jason's ready for that one.
Yep.
Yeah.
I had a blast. That was a great weekend. Yep.
He wants to redeem himself and not scare the crap out of the fire truck sitting at the end.
Yeah. Right.
yeah,
I don't think I scared him. That dude didn't care, man.
he didn't get.
He's ready to die. Yeah, he's ready to die.
Drinking since noon, he was in good shape.
Yeah, exactly.
But actually, Preston, we were hauling the monster truck on our trailer. That way he didn't have to take the tires off.
Who's this?
Trouble.
What's up?
Who's this?
Trouble has entered the building.
PRI booth 127. Is that what it
Is
says?
he the same guy that tells everybody to turn their phone sideways?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Oh, like
there
that.
he is.
Hey, there it is.
You want to buy a home?
Yeah.
Go to fullpool.com. You can buy a home.
Right.
Oh, okay. I was gonna get the security guard on here.
Did you get kicked out?
No, Chase. Chase is doing no practice right there.
Oh yeah. Nice.
I want to see you guys.
Cool, man.
How's it
Yep.
going?
We're crossing over. Got no practice in the background and West Coast on.
Yeah. Do you even hear us, Schultz?
Oh, Schultz can't figure out his phone.
Why are you? Oh my
There we
God. This is horrible. Yeah, that's pretty bitching.
You know, it's pretty cool that
5-engine mod.
what these guys and several others are doing. I mean, having the Bowers tractor there, and of course having full pull there in a whole booth. But I know Richard Love has a sled in there, and they've got a 2-wheeler hooked up in front of it. There's a mini rod there somewhere.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, on jack stands. Yeah,
I
and
saw
then
that.
somewhere there's a mini rod in there. Oh, there's Richard's sled right there.
I think Larry Phillips Insanity Light Super's in there somewhere too.
Yes, there's. Yep, I saw a picture of it.
He texted me a little bit ago. He's all set up. So, Charles, are you
I will be there Saturday.
swing down if you have time? We should talk.
Yes, sir. We'll do.
with Dan Hare about your new gig.
Okay.
I didn't get to talk to you at the banquet enough, but it's good to see you up there. So
Yeah, you too, man. I didn't get to talk to nearly half the people I wanted to.
Wow.
That's pretty
Was
nice.
that the gray one with the wrap on it, Brian?
I think this is his new one, guys. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
That's the newest one. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Nice.
So I mean, it's exciting to see at this event the representation that is there for tractor pulling.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very cool.
So
They
I know
take it seriously as an organization. They realize the size of the market. I remember last year I was in the food court area and they got the video boards that are going on like a 8-minute cycle of just clips of stuff. And we're sitting there watching it, and it dawned on us like every fifth one was sled pulling.
wow.
Nice.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
You guys, you should just seen the people walking by the tractor today, and they're just like, "Holy shit!" Like that's I heard that like all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. See
Yeah.
on there, man.
I mean, it looks like you've got pretty prominent spot there.
Yeah.
And
all the traffic. This is one, Charles, you remember our spot last year that we had for beer money, and then full pull this year. But so they all walk up through there and right through the main gate here. So
wow.
Perfect.
Yeah, you're in a good spot.
so it'll be good. And I think once the word gets out, and then we have Zins next to us as well. That Nick says everybody likes those.
Yep.
This is our goal space with Gold Train then.
Hmm.
Pretty cool. I'll let you guys get back at it. I just
That's awesome. Thanks,
Oh,
Schultz.
You know, MLM at SEMA is the next thing.
There you go.
Yeah. I don't know.
I got did Kenzie get a hold of you about your name badges?
Yeah, I think she and Christy were texting. I was here, and I think we're gonna meet up in the morning.
Sounds good. All right, I'll see you.
We just need to
Hey,
find out
Schultz.
where you guys enter. I'll call you tomorrow.
All right, see you guys.
Okay, bye.
Yeah. Somebody kicked
That's
off.
pretty cool. There's a lot of representation going on, and it's starting to show up more and more. Like he's a PRI, you know, it's getting a lot more legs out there.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Hey, John, kick me off. I suck at
Yep.
this on my.
Shit.
Kick him off. Can't say that very often, huh?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, just said kick Schultz off.
Yeah, all right.
Get out of here.
You know,
No, I
No,
think
that's
it's
cool.
it's exciting times. It's good. A lot of momentum going. A lot of things to be excited about.
heck yeah.
Do you think schedule it end of January or February? Or?
Oh, thank you. I was going to talk about that. So part of this deal, we will not have any ads after February 1st. We're going to have it set in stone by then. I'm really thinking that we should have ours done. Hopefully, I'm hoping to know before Christmas, but there's a couple that I'm waiting on to get confirmation on. And you know, you can't push too hard,
Right.
but
Right.
you gotta, I'm trying to make them understand that I need to know so that I can get this stuff scheduled. But you know, you don't want to rub them wrong and then don't do the pull at all.
Right.
Right.
So we'll probably, if it's not solid by Christmas, then we will put out, you know, a pretty good tentative schedule, and then just know we'll firm everything up in January.
Awesome.
Very good.
Very good. Thank you, man.
Cool.
Yeah, because I mean, we got to get this stuff on our family calendars too, right?
Yeah.
And,
Yep.
so
Full show.
yeah. So
Charles, have fun out there, huh?
So
Yeah, I plan to. It's a
Yeah.
good time.
How many what?
I skipped one.
New locations. Yes.
yeah, well, one for sure is the Silver Dollar Fair in Chico on Labor Day weekend. We'll be up there.
Memorial. Is it Memorial or Labor Day?
Memorial.
Memorial. Yeah, you're right. Sorry, Memorial weekend in May.
Yeah.
Labor Day weekend we go to Winnemucca.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Right on.
excited to head there. There's another possible new venue in Fallon, but
Yeah, they're having a meeting, I guess, tonight.
is it tonight?
I think so.
Cool. Hopefully that won't work.
Yeah, that'd be cool. My hometown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anybody has any questions for Brian on the new Pacific Power Pooling Series type of men, we'll ask them. We'll do a little bit more with old Mr. Charles. Tell us a little bit how that all, you know, we talked a little bit before, but you know, how it all came to fruition. When did you start? You know, all that kind of stuff with just into the pooling world. And I know I've known you for a few years now, and you know, got to meet with you through the beer money stuff. And
Yep.
you know,
I started doing this right out of college back in 2000. There was a local club that was going to start up doing antique pools. There was a need in the area. Thumb was kind of wanting to get away from doing them. So some guys are putting something together, and I got wind of it, and it's like, all right, let's do it. And you know, being a club like that, you know, everybody does everything. So the first pool I went to with them, I was able to get to. I drove for the first time ever. won something for the first time ever, announced for the first time ever. There was a lot of firsts going down in one afternoon.
That's awesome.
But every single time that I've had an opportunity to level up or get a new opportunity to do something different, it was because somebody who was in a position to open that door for me, heard me, liked what they heard, and asked. And so that's happened over and over and over again. And this was another instance of that, out at Rockwell for the Grand National, doing my usual thing. And Ned Walliser, who is, I guess, the operations manager, for lack of a better term, with NHRA, is on the board with WPI, which oversees NTPA. He was there. Listened, liked what he heard, asked some questions, and before I left Saturday night, we had started a conversation. He said, "What would you think about trying to do something like that?" And at that particular conversation, we were both a couple cups in already. So I was just like, "Okay, that just happened. I'll see if I remember it in the morning and make sure it was real." It was real. It was genuine interest expressed on his behalf to try to make a move here, and through conversations in 3 months' time, here we are. It's a signed deal, and it's a real thing. Never would have imagined that it'd be possible. And talking to some guys at the banquet last weekend, they used to do this. Doc Riley did it in the 1990s, and Ed Johnson before him. And of course, I remember those guys as a kid, but I didn't necessarily realize they did them all, because back then there wasn't internet, and you really had to get into the weeds of some cable TV to even find the TV broadcast when it would be on. Otherwise, if it wasn't in the magazine, you didn't know.
Right.
So yeah, it's pretty cool to be thought of as the third guy to take on this role with NTPA. So.
Very cool. Yep.
Go ahead. And I've had the pleasure of being at an event with Charles, doing announcing and stuff like that, and it just, you do an awesome job. I mean, the equipment, what's going on, and you keep the crowd going, and it's just overall an awesome job.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I think people who've heard me announce and never actually met me, I think the passion for it certainly comes through, and you maybe pick up on the idea that I'm a bit of a nerd, and I am. I'll own that. I am. It's definitely become a lifestyle choice for me that on a daily basis, I'm always engaged with the sport and what's going on. I'm always listening. I'm always reading. I'm maybe personality-wise an unlikely person to do this because I'm the textbook extroverted introvert. When the microphone's off, I tend to be pretty quiet. I do a lot more listening than I do speaking. I tend to be a bit shy, and so like if you meet me in the pits or whatever, I don't mean to come off awkward. It just kind of am. But when I turn that microphone on, I'm in a booth. I can be whoever I want to be, and I can just get into the show and what's going on, and that self-awareness doesn't have to be there anymore because I'm into the program now. And then when it's over, I can go back to being that shy, awkward guy again. But and on top of that, I think I didn't grow up in a family that did this. I didn't know anyone personally who did it. Jeff and Dan Rapp had the One Bad Apple Pro Stock. They're from the same town as me, but the two of them are easily 10 years older than I am. So they weren't my social circle. I mean, yeah, we'd go buy apples from the orchard. They're placed us uptown, but I mean, I didn't know them. So all through my career of doing this, I kind of always felt like a bit of an outsider. And I think for once, maybe that worked in my favor that I was, because I'm not hardwired into all the politics and the games. And frankly, I'm at an age right now where I don't care. 15 years ago, maybe I would have tried to get in some of the intrigue. I wouldn't have had the maturity behind myself to say I don't need that anymore. So this coming my way in my mid 40s, I am at an age where it's like, I'm here to do what I want to do, and I want to enjoy doing it. If you're coming at me with intrigue and, well, this guy's doing this guy's doing that, I'm sorry. I'm tuning you out. I don't need that. I don't want that. I want to be able to walk into anybody's pit area, hold my head up, and be welcomed for being there.
Yep.
I don't need that garbage to be a part of what I'm doing.
We'll have a problem with that now, I'm sure.
You'd be surprised.
Really?
Yeah, you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised. But no, I don't have an ego or anything, and I don't need to play the gossip game. I'm not, like I said, I'm being the introvert guy. My late business partner, Andrew, when he was alive, we were doing a lot of this together. And he had a Bluetooth that he'd put in his ear as soon as he walked out of work. And I'd be the first call. We'd talk for half an hour. And then he'd be on the phone to every puller he could get on the phone until the battery went dead in that thing every night. And it was, great and good for him, but I'm not that guy. I don't mind talking to people. But if the choice is being buried in this thing all evening or go grab a book and read it for 3 hours, I'm going to go read.
Yeah.
That's just how I've always done it. And I'll get asked sometimes, like, how do you know all this stuff? Well, shut up and listen. You'll be surprised what you pick up.
Right. Yeah. No kidding. Yep.
That's really the simple part of it, is just listen. There's a lot going on. If you're just walk around the pit area and don't even say anything, just walk into a pit area. And if a guy's talking to his crew chief or there's another puller in there, wallflower time, man, just soak it in. What are they talking about? You'll know pretty quick what the program is for that puller and what their challenges are and what they're up against and how they're trying to deal with it. I don't even have to ask. I'll get all my questions answered, and I didn't say a word.
Yeah.
If wrenches are flying, you might want to leave.
Yeah. That's
only you,
I
Chris.
pay a lot of attention, whether it's at sled pulls or the drag races. You've got the guy going down the track in front of you, but I'm always keeping that other eye in the staging lanes on those next 2 or 3.
Yeah.
You can tell so much by body language and what they're looking at on the vehicle, if there's a problem, and generally speaking, what it is. And now when they are coming out on the track, you already got something to talk about, and you didn't hear a word about it. You didn't have to ask anybody. All I had to do is pick my eyes up, get off that sheet that's in front of me, and look, and it's right there. And a lot of times the story will make itself, and you just have to have the self-awareness to be paying attention to it,
Yeah.
Good point.
Yeah. Very true.
And then, I'll use this as an example. It is also time filling, whenever, can't remember the name of the tractor, but went on site at TPC, you guys had to fill a lot of time that we were down. We're down for almost 40 minutes trying to get that tractor flipped back over. But you guys kept everything going. Who was announced with you? Was it Dan with you that night?
No, it was Leroy. Leroy Schluter.
Yeah, Leroy.
Yep.
And you guys just kept the crowd going. It never really, got silent or anything. You guys just kept everything going. And that's a long downtime.
Announcer can make or break a show, that's for sure.
Yeah. The pulling world is small, but the pulling announcer world is tiny. We all know each other, and I try to maintain a good relationship with everybody because I'm going to wind up working with you at some point.
Right.
And when that time comes, I want to have a rapport already established between us where one of those downtime moments comes around. I know enough about you. You know enough about me. We can just fly off into a conversation and just keep it rolling. And there won't be this awkwardness between us because that relationship's already been built.
Yeah.
I marvel that for years, I forget the two guys' names, Mario and Pemba, and I forget the other fellow's name. They were the television play-by-play announcer for the Tigers for like 10 years. And it wound up falling apart. They both left. Come to find out the entire 10 years, they hated each other. But if you watch the broadcast, you never knew it.
Right. Right.
And I don't want to, I'm not saying I've got that sort of situation being teed up or anything, but I don't ever want to be in that. I don't know how they did that every day for 10 years.
Yeah.
I don't care how much you've been paid. No.
Being a bad marriage.
Yeah.
See, we used to have an announcer out here that I'm sure Brian and Charles, or Brian and Chris will remember, that used to announce for a lot of shows out here, which was a good family friend of ours, Freddie Costa. And he really always got into it. And that's back whenever, you had pull trucks, monster trucks, Bigfoot, everything all running together at Anaheim or Cal Palace or Oakland, going to these bigger shows. But, man, he really – he was one of those guys. He was a farm guy from out here. He just knew how to talk. and he would just keep the crowd going. You know,
The gift of gab.
Yep, the gift of gab.
Gift of gab.
I've tried to differentiate my own interest a little bit, and it's really, well, it's not on purpose. I mean, it's a genuine enthusiasm for it. But there's guys I work with like a Leroy or a Dan Mayer or Darren Hartwell. They know the people extremely well. They know the pullers, they know the crew chief, they know their families, they know everything about them. And when they work with me, I think it winds up being a very complimentary situation because I'm a car guy first. Like, I'm a gearhead. I'm in on the nuts and bolts. I want to know, you changed your bore and stroke. Why? What RPM band are you trying to hit? You know, all that stuff. And over the years, I've built a trust with the guys that I cover where they will actually tell me some inside baseball, knowing that when I get upstairs, I'm not going to tell the crowd specifically what you're doing. They're going to get the cliff notes. I'm not going to betray your trust, but it feeds my intrinsic need to know and just further educate myself and understand how these machines do what they do, so that when something goes right or goes wrong, I'm able to say, okay, this is why that run did what it did. So when I'm paired with one of those guys who knows the people extremely well, now we covered all the bases, and it makes for a great presentation.
Right.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
Well, and it also gets the crowd. The crowd starts thinking about, you know, when you're talking about nuts and bolts of an operation going down the track. Now it gets the crowd thinking in their head, okay, did that work? You know, this is what the changes they made and everything, and you know, it gets them involved too. They start thinking about it in their head.
That's our best fan is an educated one, and I'm not saying I know it all. I certainly don't. I learn every day about this sport and see news. Every time I sit there and say, well, I've seen it all now. Nope, no, you haven't.
Right.
Next month, there'll be another thing. But no, you're right. It's to get them thinking along those lines. And I'm not here to be – I used to be years ago when I first started podcasting, you would have heard me say, well, I'm all about the machines. They're the stars of the show. I've again, matured, and I understand that's not the case. It is the people. It is the relationships you build, the friendships that you have. But we are still all also there because of a truck or a tractor. That's what got us all there. So it's not, it can't be to the exclusion of those things. You know, it's, you know, we're not the WWE. You know, we're not going to do a Mean Gene Okerlund interview with you.
Right.
You know, no one ever asked Hulk Hogan about how the ropes bounce a certain way that I'm sure he knew. You know, no one ever asked that question. But, you know, for our sport, yeah, that is a relevant question.
And also, too, I think is it gets, you know, not only that fan is thinking about what's going on in the track, it's also making them think, hey, I might be able to do that.
And you can.
I might be able to go and build something.
You can. I have friends who are dumb enough to let me get in the seat once in a while. And I will say I've never let one of them down yet. Because, yes, I want to understand what you guys go through and feel it the same way that you do. Go through having the butterflies right up in your throat and having to master a machine that maybe you've never driven before. But and I always will tell people, well, I want that so that it makes me a better announcer. But deep down, I'm competitive too. I need to know that I can do it. I need to know I can get in that thing, get it off the line, and not look like an idiot. And sooner or later, it's going to happen, but so far it hasn't.
Oh, it happens. Trust me.
Oh yeah, sure does. Sure does. Yeah. Well, and that's a big thing with an announcer, like you're talking about knowing the person and all that. So that then you're not just looking at the sheet and reading the specs off. You can actually kind of talk about them as a person because you know them, you know their family, you know the history of the truck and stuff. So yeah, that's huge.
Yep. There's going to be people you don't know, but you know. Oh yeah. Again, after this would be my 25th year coming up doing it, and tens of thousands of passes, I can find something to talk about some guy. I might not even know how to say his name, let alone know who he is, and I can still find something to talk about.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yep, that's that gift of gab.
Yeah, that's where the experience really pays off.
Sure, for sure. Yeah.
What's some of the rigs that you have driven, Charles?
Gosh, I can't tell you how many different antiques. Some of them pretty stout ones. A couple of different farm stocks. No big tractors yet. Been in the small block V8 hot rod. super stock, a 470 cube super stock gas truck. And then this past summer, I got in Burkhardt's 3.6 diesel pickup.
Nice.
That thing's a rush.
Oh yeah.
That thing's a rush. He told me, he's like, all right, when you're getting ready to go, he's got a little Bosch digital dashboard. There's 2 bars on it. One's a tack and one's a boost gauge. And he's like, try to keep it above 4 as you're starting to walk it out on the clutch, because if you get below that, it may not light. I saw it dip to 38, so I just gave it a little more, and I watched that boost gauge go from nothing to woo, like that quick, and that truck just lifted up out of the dirt and went. And I'm like, oh my.
Yeah, that'd be fun. That would be fun.
Yeah,
hair dryers.
But I got to say, with that truck, though, he's had that truck for 10 years, 11 years. And I'm not going to say it's easy to drive, but it is so refined. Every single thing he told me to expect it to do, it did when he said it was going to do it.
Yeah.
And on top of that, that was the nicest clutch pedal feel I've ever felt in my life of anything I've ever driven.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was good.
Good deal.
Heck yeah.
What's your biggest plans coming up this year? What do you think the biggest event will be you're going to be doing?
Oh, it'll be Bowling Green. That's for sure.
Yeah. Right.
Far and away.
That's
That one. So I get to knock off 3 bucket lists in 1 year. Toma, Chapel Hill, and Bowling Green. I've been to Bowling Green numerous times, but certainly never announced it. But to be able to do.
How long are you going to go though, Charles? I heard they pull like 24 hours a day, dang there.
Yeah, starting. It depends. It literally all depends. Hopefully you don't get weathered and you don't have a bunch of crashes or oil downs. I've seen most days there. You start around noon. I understand there's an announcers meeting in the morning at 9. You start around noon, finish the afternoon session. You get maybe a 2-hour break if you're lucky, and then you get going again and hope you're done by midnight.
Oh wow,
that's incredible! Wow.
And
I've done
days,
some.
right?
Believe it or not, that's not the hardest. The hardest are the big outlaw antique events, like Tunica, Mississippi, which just happened, or the one that's out by Tulsa, Oklahoma. Those will start at 9 o'clock in the morning and they'll go till 1 o'clock in the morning.
Jeez.
And a couple of years, I was doing them solo, and by Saturday, when we get done 10 o'clock at night, Saturday night, I not only don't want to talk to anybody, I can't.
Yeah.
Gone. Voice is gone.
No voice. Oh wow.
I bet.
Yeah.
Yeah, Wyatt says the 50th anniversary of Toma. That's going to be good.
Yeah, I'm just knock on wood. It does not rain because it always does at Toma.
So,
Cool.
Chris,
No, he doesn't live too far from there.
ask Charles your famous question there, Chris.
If you could drive anybody's rig, whose would it be and where?
I'm not only going to tell you where, I'm going to tell you when. I want the 1997, 1998 still a cast rear end Redline Fever at Inwood, Ontario, Canada.
Wow.
Inwood's not an event any longer because it literally isn't a creek bed. And Environment Canada stopped the event because of concerns with the motorsports there and having watershed and having a creek nearby. But the track is river bottom ground, and everybody, whoever pulled there, said no place takes horsepower like that place.
Wow. Wow, that's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Rained only twice.
Got pretty good chances.
Yeah, I know that. That's okay. It won't be a surprise.
Well, Brian, go over again real quick. Give us a quick snapshot of what we're seeing coming down the pipeline again. And
Well, even though Chris didn't ask me,
I always ask you. This is I ask you again.
I know. I mean, we got to do it every time.
Who's and where? Come on, man.
I want to drive Richard Love's new sled.
Yeah. There you go.
Anywhere.
There you go.
Yeah. A dirt track somewhere.
Anywhere.
Thanks for humoring me, Chris.
You bet.
The Pacific Power Pulling Series, we're kicking it off February 12th. California Winter Nationals at the Tulare World Ag Expo with Max Cackle. We've got should have about 15 events on the schedule this year that'll make up that power pulling series. We're running 3 mod tractor classes, super farm tractors, pro mod 4-wheel drives, and limited pro stock 4-wheel drive diesel pickups. We are definitely wanting to add classes as we go. And I don't know what class is next, but it will be a class that has national goals, and
Good turnout.
we're gonna make it work. We got sponsors coming in, and we're excited. It's gonna be good. It's a good next step.
Good deal. Awesome.
Very good.
Is there something going to be on MLM's website for the guys that maybe, or for the pullers that maybe weren't able to participate at the meeting or may have not gotten all the information yet or anything like that? They can go on there and look at the whole thing.
It will do a PP.
Yeah. Well,
Website. Or
yeah, we might make a page dedicated to that, and basically it'd be that flyer that you showed earlier.
Okay. Yeah.
But also anybody that wasn't able to go to the meeting, I mean, call me, text me, I can go over everything.
but we will have something that can take the sponsors.
And Christy's working on a flyer that we're gonna give out that if you wanted to take it to your customers or your own business and you want to see about sponsoring it, we'll have that information available too. So
Right on.
Cool deal. Hi, Christy.
she's hiding over here.
We hear her back there. We hear
Yeah.
the real boss back there.
The real boss. Yeah.
And we talked about coming back here, and I said, "Well, shit, I can't go talk to these people. You're the one that has to talk to these people." I mean, I can tell, hey, pulling is cool. We have a lot of good equipment. It's a good show. I mean, maybe you should be a part of it. But I think we need a little more than that when we talk to people. So
Yeah.
That's awesome. Heck yeah.
Well,
Very good.
Cool.
It'll be good. Can't wait.
yeah, it's exciting. It'll be good. Thanks for letting me come on and talk about it tonight.
Oh,
bet.
and I'll do this publicly. Right now. I got a text message that says I gotta pick on Jason a little bit. Jason, you need to put double ugly next to your name. You deserve it.
Why?
That's
Who said that?
your dad.
Who said that? Oh, my dad. Oh,
Your
really?
dad.
That's awesome. Yeah. Right on.
That way you can be like the rest of us, you know.
I'm not as cool as you guys, so.
Oh, whatever.
So, it's like we said, we're all looking forward to upcoming 2025 season. I'm pretty sure, a lot of pullers across the nation are looking forward to upcoming 2025 season. I think it's going to be a great year. And
We know Charles is.
turn
That's
back.
for
Charles is definitely looking forward to it. We need to try to figure out a way we can go back there and support Charles at an event one time,
That'd be cool. I'd love to have you.
Warm up like a singer does with his voice. Look
Right,
at
yeah.
Now, usually about 5 minutes before our show starts, I'm usually up in the tower staring at the starting line, screaming at the top of my lungs, "What are you doing?"
Yeah.
Oh,
So, but yeah, looking forward to this upcoming season.
Yes, sir.
It's going to be a blast.
Okay.
It'll start February 12th, and it ends November 7th and 8th.
yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's going to be.
That's awesome.
We've got a nice little break, possibly a little break in there, but it's
Why?
every month.
There's not much downtime. Yeah, July is pretty light,
Right.
but
That's awesome.
it'll be great. Thank you, guys.
Look
Hope everybody has a
forward to
Merry
seeing the
Christmas.
schedule coming out.
Yeah, Merry Christmas.
Yep,
Christmas.
everybody-
You too.
So hold on, we'll play it out and stand by. As soon as I find the right video.
Rookie.